Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Privet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows: state borders, foreign words and phrases, musicals opening numbers, science grab bag, a Herculean effort, and how about a little romance language? Player one. Of the Four Corners states, this is the southwestern one. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Player one. You probably know what's on North Dakota's southern border. On its western border is this state. It's player one. Oh, sorry. The correct response is Montana. Select again. You'll find this state on Kansas's northern border. The correct response is Nebraska. Player one. Delaware's southern border is with this state. Here's what we wanted. Maryland. Player one. It's the number of states that border the Gulf of Mexico. Here's what we wanted. 5. Player one. Before a trip, it's proper to wish someone bon this, whether they're traveling by ship or not. Let's hear it, player one. Right, you're out of the hole. Player one. In many places of business, no zapatos, no service. Zapatos being Spanish for these. Okay, player one. Right you are. Player one. Italian for to the tooth. It's how to order your pasta if you want it a little firm. Here's the correct response. Al dente. Player one. Seize the day, I tell you, but do it with this Latin phrase. Here's the response we were looking for. Carpe diem. And here's Jimmy.
Locomotives with a 282 wheel configuration are called this type, an old name for the Emperor of Japan.
Let's hear it, player one. You got it. Player one. Oh, what a beautiful morning. We're talking about Oklahoma. Player one. All that jazz. Here's the correct response. Chicago. Player one. Good morning, Baltimore. Here's the response we were looking for. Hairspray. Player one. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. Decide. And the Daily Double clue. Willkommen. No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Cabaret. Player one. Move. You're stepping on my heart. Here's the response we were looking for. Dreamgirls. Player one. These cells from human embryos can grow into any type of tissue and may someday cure diabetes and Alzheimer's. Player one. Is correct. Player one. A material called URHGE can be manipulated into being a resistance-free super this. Here's the response we were looking for. A conductor. Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus are called this type of planet after a Roman god. Yes, player one? No. Here's what we wanted. Jovian. You again, player one. We're not faking. Alphabetically, it's last among the elements on the periodic table. Here's the response we were looking for. Zirconium. Player one. Here's Kelly from our Clue Crew with the clue.
The two main kinds of lens are diverging and this type, that bends rays of light inward so they meet at the focal point.
Yes, player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. Converging. Player one? This wife of Zeus sent 2 serpents to kill Hercules as a baby. He strangled them. Player one? You got it. You get... Let's take it over to Sarah.
As one of his labors, Hercules had to dog-nap this 3-headed beast from Hades.
The correct response is Cerberus. Please, Hercules joined this husband of Medea for a journey aboard the Argo. The correct response is Jason. You again. Hercules literally took the weight of the world off his shoulders when he needed help with some golden apples. Here's what we wanted. Atlas. Select. Hercules had to wrestle with one of these creatures that fathered the Minotaur. Here's the response we were looking for. A bull. You get to pick. Around the Vatican, you might be able to practice this source language of all Romance languages. Yes, player one? Yep. You of Catalan, Bulgarian, or Romanian, the one that is not a Romance language. We're talking about Bulgarian. Select. It's the most widely spoken Romance language in the world. Here's the correct response. Spanish. Please. Ligurian, Lombard, and Piedmontese are all dialects of this Romance language. Here's the response we were looking for. Italian. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. This extinct Romance language of Croatia shares its name with a dog breed. Here's the correct response. Dalmatian. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. He was president when... Name the playwright. Synonyms. Cooking class. The songs of Paul Simon. And science abbreviations. All right, E.T. the Extraterrestrial was released, grossing more than $300 million that year. The correct response is Ronald Reagan. Player one, play with the clue.
He was president in 1906 when he proclaimed Devil's Tower in Wyoming the first national monument.
Here's the correct response. Theodore Roosevelt. Player one. The Telstar communications satellite relayed the first live TV pictures from the United States to Europe. Okay, player one. Here's what we wanted. John Kennedy. You again. The U.S. merchant ship Mayaguez was seized by Cambodian forces. U.S. forces rescued the crew of 39. Here's the correct response. Gerald Ford. Player one. The Alien and Sedition Acts were adopted by Congress. Player one? That's correct. You've got some money again. Player one, Death of a Salesman, The Crucible. Here's what we wanted. Arthur Miller. Select Speed the Plow, Glengarry Glen Ross. Here's the correct response. David Mamet. Player one, An American Daughter, The Heidi Chronicles. Here's what we wanted. Wendy Wasserstein. Player one, Lettuce and Lovage, Amadeus. Here's what we were looking for. Peter Schaffer. Player one, Curse of the Starving Class, True West. Here's what we were looking for. Sam Shepard. Player one, as a noun, it's a synonym for flower. As a verb, it's to blossom or come into one's own. It's player one.
Yeah!
Good for you. Select again. Synonyms for crowd include throng, flock, and this word that can also mean an infatuation. Yes, player one?
Yeah!
Player one? In court, you won't hear a lawyer say remonstrance, but this synonym. Let's hear it, player one. No. We're talking about objection. Player one. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. And you have the lead. What are you going to wager? Answer this. Back in the 19th century, ladies didn't faint, but did this five-letter synonym. That's not it. Here's what we were looking for. Swoon. This synonym for to seclude is also a word for part of a monastery or convent. Here's what we were looking for. Cloister. Player one. If you boil these before making them into hash browns, they'll stick together better and cook faster, too. It's player one. You got it. Player one. To make bunny salad, use a chilled pear half for the bunny's body and a ball of cottage cheese for this appendage. We're talking about the tail. Player one. Joy of Cooking suggests using these Thanksgiving berries in any recipes calling for red currants. Yes, player one? Yes. Player one. The Chicken of the Sea website suggests making enchiladas with the albacore type of this. The correct response is tuna. Player one. For the silver dollar type of these breakfast treats, drop the batter onto the griddle 1 tablespoon at a time. Okay, player one. Correct. We return. It begins, "Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again." We're talking about Sound of Silence. Select. In Mrs. Robinson, Simon wrote, "A nation turns its lonely eyes to this man." Here's what we were looking for. Joe DiMaggio. Player one. Goodbye to Rosie, the Queen of Corona. See you, me, and him down by the schoolyard. The correct response is Julio. Player one. Simon's 1973 song about this color transparency film said, "Give us those nice bright colors." Here's what we were looking for. Kodachrome. Player one. In Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon told her to sail on by. Your time has come to shine. The correct response is Silver Girl. Please, there's a phase of sleep abbreviated NREM, which stands for Know This Eye Movement. Okay, player one. Yes. Player one. In computer science, GUI is this kind of user interface. It's player one. That's not right. Here's the response we were looking for. Graphical. Player one. As opposed to an MD, a DO is a doctor of this holistic practice. Here's the response we were looking for. Osteopathy. Player one. The T in TSH stands for this gland. The SH is for stimulating hormone. Here's what we were looking for. The thyroid. And the $2,000 clue? Answer. The other daily double. You are in first place. How much? All right, here's your clue. The lowercase r in rRNA stands for this adjective. That is correct. Good game. I'll see you for Final Jeopardy in a moment. Here's the Final Jeopardy category. Ancient names. So, what's your wager? Let's take a look at that Final Jeopardy clue right now. Appropriately, the name of this dramatist comes from Greek words meaning wise and famous. Let's see your response. How much do you add to your total with that correct response? This makes you our new champion, player one, so congratulations. Good game. Thank you so much for playing.